Hey, buddy. All right, you're better there. All right, I'm sorry. So picking back up here, this article you wrote about Iran, and it's sort of you were getting into sort of how people say, how can we sit by when your neighbor's getting attacked, essentially.
Yeah, well, I mean, I start off just, completely debunking this idea that Iran is actually a threat to anybody. If anything, Iran is a victim here. They're the ones who have been, being provoked by the U.S. government for, years now. They've been the victim of coercive sanctions where interfering with their trade. And, if you remember your basic history, that's one of the contributing factors to, the American Revolutionary War. So if it wasn't, if it's not okay for Iranians to have a problem with sanctions, then I guess it wasn't okay for the American revolutionaries to overthrow, that British control of their trade.
But Austin, don't we need to implement sanctions on Iran so that it discourages them from, looking for nuclear bombs?
Well, imagine what you think Americans would do if another country imposed sanctions on us. If China said we don't like. You guys running your affairs a certain way, we're going to impose sanctions on you and cut you off from the rest of the world until you shape up. I mean, no, I don't think any American would tolerate that. I mean, we would be just in overthrowing that kind of behavior.
Well, sanctions is, in fact, an act of war, is it not?
Oh, absolutely. Now, I mean, they play little euphemistic Orwellian games with the terms. The sanctions currently being put on Iran are referred to as smart sanctions. They only go after the bad guys. They don't hurt the good guys.
It's like smart bombs,
okay.
Right?
Yeah. And, in reality, it's a coercive blockade, really. Yeah. I mean, it's starting off soft. The government, they work gradually. They start small and they work up to, more oppressive measures. But, the fact that there are sanctions on Iran, period, has already kind of started us off on the really wrong path.
I got to tell you, I don't buy this idea of, quote, smart sanctions. I mean, when we were the United States, I keep saying when the United States government implemented sanctions on Iraq, and Madeleine Albright was, what was she, the Secretary of State or whatever she was at the time, and, it killed, estimated like over 1 million Iraqis who died from these sanctions because we wouldn't let the goods come in and out of Iraq, and something like 600,000 of them were children. Sanctions disproportionately harm the youngest, the children, the most frailest of us that maybe can't go a day without food where a grown man could.
Oh, absolutely. And Madeleine Albright said that on national TV, which I'm sure made the U.S. look just great to the Middle East. Now, the sanctions currently being put on Iran aren't that bad. They're targeting their central banking system. I don't know how exactly that's supposed to work, but the fact is, the U.S. government has already decided that it's okay to have sanctions on them, period, which means, from here on out, it's just a matter of the severity of them. From here on out, we'll be able to just gradually increase them and, expand them to more areas of Iran's economy. And even if you believe the sanctions, aren't, evil and grossly immoral, just from a strategical perspective, they're completely counterproductive. I mean, it's going to cause people to rally around their leader versus, overthrow him or something like that. They're just going to get the Iranians to hate America even more than they might already.
But, isn't Ahmadinejad an avowed madman who has said he wants to wipe Israel from the face of the earth? Don't we have some sort of duty to protect them?
Well, there's a lot of people running for president right now who say they want to wipe Iran off the map.
It's not funny, but
it's kind of canceled out there. But, the fact is Iran hasn't done anything yet. Even if they wanted to, and I hate to use the word they because, it's not like all the people of Iran subscribe to the exact same idea. It's not like, their leader is the perfect representation of the people. Sure, Ahmadinejad's a bad guy. He is a politician after all, but you can't bomb innocent people to get back at him. That's just ludicrous. That's evil. Maybe you could justify maybe assassinating just the politician. I would be fine with assassinating politicians, but I don't support going against people who have nothing to do with it. We have more in common with the Iranian people than we do with our own government.
Certainly.
Iran isn't some backward third world country. I mean, they're a commercial capitalist country. I mean, KFC just started opening up restaurants in Iran. They have KFC, you know?
Nice. Yeah, I think that's an important point you make there, that, you know, it's this whole feud is between the American government and the Iranian government. The American people and the Iranian people have nothing to do with any of this. We just want to be left alone. We don't care about each other. You know, we don't want to harm each other. But the governments, for some reason, hate each other, and they're going to use the money and the manpower of the people of their respective nations to fight whatever stupid war they're trying to concoct here.
Absolutely. You know, not to mention Iran is surrounded by 45 U.S. military bases right now. You know, it's not the other way around. It's not like Iran is surrounding Israel and the U.S. You know,
Right.
we're surrounding them.
Right.
But just some other facts. I mean, you know, our own Defense Secretary, Leon Panetta, and I guess, you know, I shouldn't say we. I don't, you know, recognize his authority. But he was on Face the Nation January 8th of this year. You can find the transcript at CBS's website. But he said right on national TV that not only does Iran not have a nuclear bomb, not only do they not have the capability to develop one, but they're not even trying to. And the United Nations International Atomic Energy Agency went in there. They've been in there numerous times, but they were in there as early as 2009, and they came out and said, we have nothing, we couldn't find anything. And that was reported all over Israel. You can find a Haaretz article about that.
Okay.
As Ron Paul points out, you know, the Israelis seem to be having more of a vigorous debate about, you know, war with Iran than we are. I guess Americans, unfortunately, are just, you know, more willing to just hate and fear whoever they're told to.
Yeah, I participated in a CNN poll today, which said, you know, should we use, or should military options be on the table for keeping Iran from having nuclear weapons? And I, of course, voted no, but something like 70% voted yes, and I'm just like, oh, come on, people.
Yeah, and that is exactly the number of people who bought into the Iraq propaganda. And, you know, I mean, if you examine the propaganda used to get us into Iraq 9 years ago, it's exactly the same as what we're being told now. Even worse, though. I mean, you know, Iraq, I mean, they actually told us that they had bombs. But in the case of Iran, you know, all the governments are saying that Iran doesn't even have a bomb, but the fact that they might one day try to get one, we got to blow them away.
So,
but I really take offense to this idea that the U.S. government somehow has the moral authority to go around being the sole decider of who gets to have a nuclear bomb and who doesn't. When they're the only government in the history of the world to use nuclear weapons against another country, vaporizing hundreds of thousands of innocent people. So I don't see how the U.S. government has any kind of, position to go around accusing other countries of being evil or dictatorial or anything like that.
So you're saying, Austin, that even if, let's just say our defense secretary, Leon Panetta, is wrong when he said that Iran is not even trying to develop nuclear weapons, that, you know, the UN
let's assume that the Mossad also, and Netanyahu.
Yeah, well, let's assume everybody's wrong, Sean Hannity's right, and they're really trying to build a nuclear weapon in Iran. You're saying even if that's the case, it's not the United States' place to go try to dictate what they're doing over there?
No, yeah. I mean, why does the U.S. get to have a bomb? Why does Israel get to have nuclear weapons and another country can't? I don't understand the logic in that. If it's wrong for Iran to have it, why is it okay for us to have them? People who think like this buy into this kind of sick nationalist philosophy of American exceptionalism. Hate to use the word we, but, you know, we America, we're allowed to go around doing things that we would tolerate from no other country. We're allowed to go boss other countries around, tell them how to run their affairs, tell them if they can arm themselves or not. We're a superior country composed of superior people. We have superior leaders, and we somehow have the brains and the moral authority to go around doing this.
Here's actually Austin. Hi, I'm Zwain. I'm the producer here. The reason why, and just a little background, I am actually an Arab. But I am very much pro-Israel. And the fact that Islam in Iran is about 98% of all of the faith in Iran. The other 2% is comprised of other. My family's from Lebanon. We're literally 50-50 as far as Islam versus Christianity or other, I guess. I think that the reason why they're putting these sanctions, or trying to put these sanctions on, is because of the fact that out of the Islam population in the world, some estimates have gone up to 36.6% of Muslims being radical Muslims, and that is about 439 million Muslims. Again, this is kind of a high estimate, but I think that's where they're coming from.
I got a question.
Well, I mean, have a single one of those Iranian Muslims done anything to Israel? I mean, no Iranian has ever hurt an American in recent times. I mean, we don't have. It's not a war, like John said. It's not a war between the people. It's a war between the governments. But you know, I mean, if someone supports Israel, they are free to donate their money to Israel's defense. They are free to go over there and volunteer to fight. But I mean, you can't use the force of government to make other people pay for causes that really have nothing to do with them and they might reasonably disagree with.
I agree with that, Austin. Can you stick with us through the break? I got some more questions for you here.
Absolutely.
All right, sweet. And so more with Austin White right after this. Your calls are welcome, 407-774-0810. Just going back to what Zwane said, too, you know, radical Muslims, what does that mean? The government considers me radical. Like, who's calling them radical, and why are they so radical? Free Radical Radio, 407-774